Happy Friday, guys, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Dubs. I'm your host, Bill T. Well, if you're listening to this podcast, you know it's Friday morning, December 6th, and what's going to be happening December 7th at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway is Vegas World Finals taking place. I've been on the phone all day. Lots of people coming in from all over. So if you're listening to this podcast, you're thinking about coming out tomorrow, make sure you guys get out here tomorrow. But on today's podcast, we're going to be doing a quick interview with my boy vegasmicahg. If you've seen a bunch of dope videos that I put out over the past couple of months, it's been with my help from my friend vegasmicahg. And we're going to talk a little bit about shooting videos and doing some stuff like that. And maybe giving you guys some insight as to what to do. And also maybe if you want video shot of your car, we'll figure out how to get you guys in touch with my boy vegasmicahg. But don't forget to support our sponsors, Ross Wolf, high quality aftermarket parts built for enthusiasts by enthusiasts. Also, go subscribe today at VW Trends Magazine, a magazine back from the past, revived and fresh and new. Not the same old stuff you see in all the other VW magazines. This is fresh, new stuff, air-cooled, water-cooled, and a lot of how-to. So go subscribe today at vwtrendsmagazine.com. So without any further ado, guys, let's get into this week's podcast. vegasmicahg, the art of making dope videos, on this week's Let's Talk Dubs.
You probably don't know that there's a new Volkswagen out that doesn't look like a Volkswagen. It's got everything that people who like the bug like.
Micah, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Bill.
Hey, so a lot of people have been noticing I've been getting some really rad videos out here lately, and they're wanting to know there are a lot of collaboration they're seeing with me and you, and you're one of our local guys here. You've been out and about for a while. You've been doing a lot of videos, some stuff with oil drippers, and you're one of the guys that really helped One Crazy Weekend really explode kind of on the internet with a lot of the video you were doing, in addition to, you know, there was dozens and dozens of other people taking a lot of content out there. And maybe on this episode, we're a lot of us guys out there that are into it. We love seeing dope videos of our cars and all this stuff. And I got you on the podcast because we're talking about the video that we're going to be dropping on the carbon cab that we just finished, and want to talk to you about shooting video and doing some stuff like that, especially with your cars. How did you get it? Because I know you don't currently own a VW, but I know you love Volkswagens.
That's not true. I do own a VW, but it's a 2021.
Right.
Not the same thing.
Yeah, but you definitely, you're into it. You love the hobby. How did you get started? Like, what's your motivation behind starting to do all the cinematography and stuff like that? Because you really got a good knack for it. And you really do some super rad stuff with the 360 cams and the floating gimbals and all that kind of stuff. So how did you get started into doing some of this video stuff?
I mean, probably like you, even when I was back in 8th grade, 9th grade, videoing skateboarding and riding dirt bikes, and just when the big clunky VCRs on our video cameras on our shoulders were big. Even back then, I was just into making movies, making clips. We had the VCR to VCR with the wires connected between the two VCRs, editing, skiing, snowboarding, riding our dirt bikes, riding skateboards. And that just evolved over the years. Camera equipment's gotten so much more friendly. Editing's gotten so much more friendly. You can film something, edit it on your phone, and have it posted on Instagram in 15 minutes. Whereas before it would have been filming something, watching it, running it on your VCR, connecting the VCRs. Everything is streamlined now. It's just so easy. Just makes everything more convenient these days.
Yeah, no. One of the things I noticed about some of the stuff that you shoot, you really have a unique knack at really getting some really cool shots, going out of your way to get some shots that are looking, again, when you said skateboarding and motocross, and there's that whole 90s era of video, like we're kids from the video age, right? We're similar in age. And it's one of those things from watching music videos and doing all that stuff that we got this whole thing where they're like quick cuts, cool shots, crazy angles, all this kind of stuff. And I think that's what's funny is it's like a Gen X thing, right? Like we're into that thing to where some people are just more into like a slow meander through a car show. And I kind of am used to like growing up on skateboard videos and stuff like that, where it's just quick cuts in, out. And
I just don't want to bore anybody.
yeah, and
Even when I'm like editing, I'm like, no, that was 4 seconds. I'm bored.
Right.
And I'm making the video. Nope, it's got to be 2 seconds. You know, I'm really keen on, and sometimes I'll do a video, I'll finish it, and then I'll go to post it. And as I'm watching it, when I'm, have it set up to post, I'm like, I'm bored. I'm just bored. And I'll go back and I'll redo the whole thing. I just want people to be on the edge of their seat the whole time that they're watching, thinking, oh, wait a minute, it's over already?
Yeah.
I wish this thing was longer. That was cool.
Well, and I've seen the video that we're going to be putting out this weekend on the carbon cab, and it's cool. It's kind of the story of what the philosophy was behind building it, some cool driving shots and some things like that. And I really, the cool thing about it is we shot it in kind of a cinematic format to where it's really designed to be watched on your big screen TV and all that. And I really, when watching it, I was looking at the cutting and the editing of it. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I mean, especially for a couple guys that don't do this for a living,
right.
It came across looking pretty sharp. And I know that you've got a little bit of background doing drone stuff. You're actually a licensed drone pilot too, right?
Licensed drone pilot. I actually do social media for a couple of restaurants on the Strip and real estate videos, some $1 million homes and things for some agents in town. So I dabble in a lot, but I mean, this is like the VW community, and making videos like that is kind of what I live for.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like your passion, like you
Exactly.
did a video on the pier too, right? Like that was one of your videos that was really huge, was some of the pier video that you did at Huntington Beach, right?
Yeah. The buses on the pier. That's one of my favorite events. And people are saying that's probably going to be the biggest VW show in California in years to come.
Yeah, I went to it the first year they did it, and then I did a second year on it, and I have not been back to it. Like to get back there. It's a cool thing. I was down in the front right by the intersection at Huntington Beach, and I kind of like that because there was a ton of people. Not everybody goes down the pier.
Yeah.
And so many people coming in and out of there. It was really cool to talk to people about my bus that are not VW people. I think that's one of the things that I really liked about that show was the mix of people that were kind of walking down the boardwalk. So they're kind of people that are like, oh, these are cool. Tell me about your car, versus like someone who's a Volkswagen that comes over and just, oh, that's not the right color. Why'd you put those wheels on there or whatever? It's more of it's people just walk down there and they can pick the car they like and then just go talk to that owner. So,
well, like, you know how it is. Like when we did the Valley of Fire shoot.
Oh yeah.
Me, you, and Andy. Every time we stop, there's a crowd gathering.
Yeah.
Just looking at the cars, and everybody's got a VW story. Whether it was, oh, my dad had one of these, my grandpa used to drive me to get ice cream, or oh, I had one of these. Now everybody's got a VW story, which is so cool. Just random people that you never think would have any interest. We were drawing more of a crowd of taking pictures of the cars than people were taking scenery. It was awesome.
It was funny. Recently, I did a road trip up to Reno, and then over near Lodi to drop off 2 cars. And as I was in Gardnerville at a 7-Eleven type store, and I had the Gia on the trailer, and this guy, about 7 years old, just beelines it right to the Gia, and he's just nodding his head. And he says, the first car I ever drove was a brown Carmen Ghia like this in New Jersey. And then what was funny is Andy and I were talking, and he was saying, there's so many people that have a VW story that they just a little snippet. And he was like, it's just really cool to have all these people that have a connection to this car. And he was saying, when people start doing that, you should just pull out your camera and just start filming them with their story that they have in Volkswagen, just for a little 2-minute story. Because it's so cool how these stories overlap. And he was telling the story about his story was he had this Carmen Ghia that his dad gave him. It was like a used car that they had. So it got kind of handed down to him. And he took his stepbrother, which he didn't like, with him. And they went shooting one time. He laid the shotgun in the back seat and blew a hole through the side of the car. Like everybody's just got this wild story. But the look on this guy's face when he's looking at this car, he says, man, let me take a picture of it. And I said, give me your camera. I'll take a picture of you with the car. He says, oh, that would be awesome. I'm going to send it to my sister back east because I know she remembers the Carmen Ghia that we had. And it's so cool, you bring that up, and the connection that I make to this. And the first time I'm quoted saying this is in 2003 in a documentary on the Fine Living channel. It was on the Volkswagen, the history of the Volkswagen. And there's a section where they're walking through the VW Classic, and they interview Bob Hull, the promoter of the show, Randy Carlson, and me. And we're 3 people to interview. And the quote that I pretty much said verbatim was like, if I drive my Buick to the gas station, people are like, hey, my grandpa had one of those. But if I drive my Volkswagen, everyone has a connection. I went to school. My best friend had one. I had one. People have a direct connection to those cars and fond memories. And one of the things I said is, the cool part about owning these things is it's your own blank canvas that you can do whatever you want with it and just, have a super cool self-expression conveyed through your vehicle. So it's been cool to do it. And what's even more fun, I've got a little YouTube channel. My brother George has got a YouTube channel. You've got a YouTube channel. And so we like putting out content because it's like, we got these cool gadgets that can make this content. Why don't we put some stuff out and see if we can capture some vision? And that's what I'm pretty excited about with the video we're going to be dropping on the Carbon Cab. So,
and honestly, watching things on YouTube, like I was telling you, is just so much better.
It is.
We're all stuck looking at our little teeny 3-inch, phones.
Yeah,
And
watching
when
on the
you
big
get it on
screen.
the big screen, especially if you have a 65, 75, 85, and it's 4K, and just how stuff's meant to be seen.
Yeah.
It is a game changer.
And as we're having this conversation, and we were talking about, because you helped me film my highest rated video so far today, which was VWs of SEMA. So there's a lot of that going on, and it was a cool collaboration because I'm the mouth, you're the camera, and we just kind of nailed it out. And as we're sitting here having this conversation, I'm thinking to myself, like, what we ought to do is by the time One Crazy Weekend is here next year, we have enough time to put together about 4 10-minute segments on different Volkswagens, the stories, the people, get that thing put together. And I wonder if they'd let us play it in one of the movie theaters at the Orleans, if we could get it to where they could display it on the movie theater. That'd be
cool.
Something kind of cool to do. But I started thinking this. I thought, hey, you could do a cool story like that where you could tie in some historical value to some of the vehicles, something that's contemporary, something that was new, a little mix of a little bit of everything. But again, we're good. You and I are going to be working on a future project coming up that's going to be a little more broad-based vehicle-wise and connected to Vegas as well. So you guys are listening for that. Be on the lookout for that coming up. But I do have a question because I have a drone too.
Yeah.
Like to get you have to have, if you're going to do it as a business, you have to have an FAA license for the drone.
Yeah, it's called a Part 107.
And then, but you got to take a test and do all kinds of stuff for that. But what is the purpose? Just because you don't really check in with anybody when you fly a drone, right?
The purpose is you're supposed to have a Part 107 if you want to make money. So if you have a YouTube page and you don't have a Part 107 and you're monetized and you're making money, technically the FAA can come after you.
Right.
And actually during COVID, when everyone was just sitting around with nothing to do, the FAA actually got a little task force, and all they did was watch YouTube videos and were just sending out fines to people that weren't FAA Part 107 certified on YouTube.
Wow.
But it's kind of like a real estate license. It's one of those things like
right.
You study really hard. It's actually a really hard test to take. You get it, and then you kind of actually use nothing that you've learned.
Right. Nothing that was on the test has anything to do with what you do on a daily basis.
It all pretty much comes down to common sense.
Because I had a little drone that I was flying over here by my house, and I'm not far from Vegas Boulevard. I'm close to
You're
the
in
flight
the flight
pattern.
path.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when I start getting the drone, it says, warning, your drone is, you're in restricted airspace.
That is the plus with the 107. It does give me some leeway because I can get approval to fly. Like I can fly the Vegas Strip with Lance approval. So because I'm 107 certified.
And next year, what we're hoping to do is get a lot of drone footage from the Strip with all the cars cruising the Strip. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited. I love being able to, our generation was a generation of people that were super excited about the visuals, right? Cruising the Strip, doing all that kind of stuff. We were talking about the magazine cover I got hanging on the wall over here where it's got the car wash scene and all that stuff. And it was like the whole lifestyle, the vision of the lifestyle that we see. So I'm super excited about the video coming out to get everybody's feedback and see what they think about it. And I'm interested to see what the feedback will be on it because it's really good. It's really well produced. It's good quality. Audio quality on it's good, and it would be again. I'm excited for it to come out. So if you guys are going to be checking this video out, make sure you go subscribe to Let's Talk Dubs on YouTube and also vegasmicahg on YouTube. So we're going to be collaborating on the distribution of this video. Hopefully you guys like it. If you'd like to see a bunch of cool stuff, hit up Micah and he can and you can check out his channel. He does Volkswagen, the car stuff, but he does a lot of other stuff as well. So, and you do videos for people. Like if people want to commission you to do a video for their car and stuff like that, you'll do that for them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Micah's one of my buddies. He's a local guy here, but he loves doing what he does. And sometimes we can if we got a few bucks, or if you got that husband of yours, you're looking for something for Christmas, you might want to get a video shot, so a little video for his car or something cool. You never know, man. It's always something cool. The little things that we can do that are specific, hobby centered, and that we can hook people up with. So, cause you do a bunch of different video stuff. So if you guys are,
and photos,
yeah,
it kind of gets overlooked because I'm so into just posting reels,
right?
But I do photos as well and stuff as well. I think my girl's putting together a calendar for buses by the bridge.
Oh, cool.
This year in Havasu.
Nice.
So,
yeah. No, I think that'll be, that's going to be, there's so much stuff to shoot and so much stuff to do that anybody needs any of your services, man, they can definitely hit you up and get some cool footage. And matter of fact, judge what you see by when you see the video come out, man, because there's some cool stuff. And when we shot a lot of the videos that went kind of crazy was the ones that we did over there at Valley of Fire.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that was the interaction between, like, we're sitting there talking, like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. And then we start driving, and then like I pull into the lanes when I need to pull in the lanes, and then we're kind of jockeying back and forth with the cameras and stuff like that, or with the cars and the GoPros and the 360 and everything. And it's like dialing everything in to where when we were done, it came across super cool. And I'd love to see a longer format of that, if we might be able to put together maybe a 10 or 15 minute deal about that with some voiceover on it, because I think that would definitely make some super rad content. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this.
It's funny because I always wonder what like the owners of these vehicles think as I'm filming, because a lot of the guys have never seen an Instant 360. Then I go and stick the long pole out the window, and they're probably thinking, "What is this clown doing in my bus? Why did I let him in here?" And then I show them a quick snippet, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go for another ride? Come on, get back in. Let's go for a little longer cruise, man. That's awesome."
Yeah, you just did some stuff down at the LA Auto Show, right?
Yep, I was down there with the oil drippers. A lot of my boys. Shout out to
the oil drippers.
Oil drippers and Patina Greg. He's kind of he's kind of in my into that whole community.
Yeah.
Down there, I met him at the Rare Air Vintage
Yep.
show, and same thing. I was shooting him, and I said, "Man, we got to get together and do some stuff." And we hooked up in Pasadena and did some stuff. And he really introduced me to a lot of the Southern California bug community down there. So I go down there and work with the oil troopers whenever I can.
Yeah, so if you guys got a Volkswagen Club out there, man, you guys are looking to get some shots and some rolling footage and stuff like that, man, hit up vegasmicahg, get him on Instagram, hit him up, and he can coordinate something with you guys. It's not as expensive as you think, but it'd be pretty rad to do as a club, especially to get a club shot, a bunch of you guys cruising and stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely, I love when people that are into the hobby are creative and do stuff, and then we can just share that through our platform. So, I just wanted to get on here and kind of share that whole thing and make sure that everybody gets ready to go subscribe to both our YouTube channels, vegasmicahg and Bill at Let's Talk Dubs, or Let's Talk Dubs on YouTube. And make sure you guys subscribe. While you're at it, subscribe to George's channel at The Wagon also. And we've got this big event coming up this weekend here, the drag race out there at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's happening Saturday. So if you guys want to see some really cool drag racing, there are literally people from all over the world coming to this event. So today I was talking to guys from back east. I had a couple guys in my house from Canada. I was on the phone with some guys that are driving in from Texas. They're pulling a double stacker with two pro mod cars. And so the field of cars is filling up. I think it's gonna be some super cool racing this weekend. A lot of cars that haven't been seen in a long time. There's a Durachrome bug that was a famous drag racing V8 bug, had a V8, like a funny car type thing in it. But this car is from the 60s, the Durachrome. And so that car will be there. There's going to be a bunch of really cool stuff at the drag strip. So guys, make sure you come out, support the event, because without these events, the hobby starts to die off. And I know everybody wants to grumble about the price and the cost and all this kind of stuff. But the reality is, man, stuff's expensive to rent and get facilities for us. And listen, we're all old enough to where we can afford a few more dollars to go to an event to support something that's helping us see the stuff that we want to see. And so make sure you guys support your local VW scene out there and do the right thing, guys. Get out there, support. If you don't support, you can't complain when there are no events. All right. So make sure you guys get out there, support that, check that out. And if you guys go on Facebook and go to the group for the Vegas World Finals, get on that group, check it out. If there's other stuff happening, we're going to have a Finley Volkswagen happening tomorrow night in Henderson. So it's the first Friday of every month here in Las Vegas. Outside of Vegas is Henderson, which is pretty much connected, and Henderson Volkswagen at the Valley Auto Mall every first Friday of the month. If you're here in Vegas, go down there just after dark, and the front parking lot fills up with a bunch of local Volkswagen. So tomorrow night should be pretty good because of everything that's going on. A lot of people in town, so we'll be posting that up. But go to the Vegas World Finals Facebook page, and as you're local, I'll be posting up some stuff if there's any other stuff going on. Normally, if you guys are in from out of town, if you hit up the car show at Eastern, they're calling it, or Celebrity Cars and Coffee down there at Eastern at 215 in the Henderson area, every Saturday from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, there's a few hundred cars there. A lot of different stuff, but a lot of us Volkswagen guys go there every Saturday. So if you guys are in town from out of town, make sure you hit that up on Saturday. This Saturday will probably be a little thin with Volkswagens because we'll all be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway at the Vegas World Finals. Corey Mack's Vegas World Finals, and I'm excited to see how this weekend's gonna go down and play out. So make sure you check me out. You guys out there, say hey, stop by the booth. You can't miss it. So Let's Talk Dubs will be out there in full force. So appreciate you guys for checking us out this week, and be on the lookout for. Make sure you subscribe to Let's Talk Dubs. Share it with all your friends. Subscribe to Let's Talk Dubs on YouTube because I'm probably going to do some live streaming on YouTube out there. So I'll do a live stream out there on YouTube. So make sure you guys check it out. I'm hoping to interview a bunch of different racers from all over the world that are going to be out here and getting you guys a ton more content. So without anything else, guys, I appreciate you for listening. Make sure you guys subscribe to Vegas Micah G, Let's Talk Dubs, both on YouTube. And I'm excited for you guys to see the new Carbon Cab video. So until next week, guys, later.
You probably don't know that there's a new Volkswagen out that doesn't look like a Volkswagen.